Kayla's best interview of the year.
Wow.
The hardest, losing. Like any year, losing was the hardest part. The closer you get to winning, and the closer you get to like that taste of that ultimate trophy, the worse this thing. So that was probably the worst part of the year. You get so close, you start to feel, you know, like if you're able to get through another round, then you're competing for the Stanley Cup, and not getting to that point was. It stinks, but it makes you more hungry going into the summer.
Do you guys like have these conversations once the season's done? Like, are you calling up each other to have like, yo, we gotta unpack what happened? I know everyone's like on their break. Does that dynamic change as the years go on, and as you do have a little bit of a solid, consistent group that has been there for some time? Obviously, there's been a lot of changes.
Yeah, it's just an ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
I think you never really have like one conversation where saying like, oh, this is what we need to do, this, and this. It's just, you know, you're talking to someone one week, and that conversation carries into the next week, and all of a sudden you're dragging in three people to the conversation. Oh, what do you think? What do you think? So it's an ongoing conversation. I think that's, over the course of the summer, that's kind of what you want. It still keeps you in it. You know, you're working out, and you still have that purpose in your mind all the time.
I was listening to an interview, and I think what interested me the most is just how dedicated to watching film you've become. Are you still doing that this year? I know last year you had kind of gotten a journal and you were journaling things down. What came up for you this year?
Well, I'll be about 30 games in. I like to tweak some things.
So you watch it game by game by, like, how many games do you take in a day?
Like a day, it depends. Like there could be some days I do 2, and some days I do none, and then all of a sudden I'm doing 3. Like kind of spaced out. But yeah. Every year I like to change something, so like whether it's, like I like numbers, so being able to, maybe there's a chance against and you want to mark it and, add those up and see your plus minus by the end of the night. So there's always different things I like to add in while I'm watching film, and there's different ways that I also, like for me, I have to write it down, and then I might have to type it out for it to stick in my mind.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I've always studied.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I had a pretty good gene of being able to watch.
We're gonna get into how smart you are. Don't worry.
We'll get that.
Yeah,
I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart. But yeah. So there's always different different ways I like to. If there's something that I missed, maybe I pull a highlight mark on it. So
yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Is there something that you have noticed you're continuously highlighting about your game?
I can't give you those.
And we're just gonna glaze by Casey and JoJo?
My knowledge of Casey and JoJo is not high enough to talk about them.
All my life?
All my life.
I know that you went back to school.
No, I'm in it right now.
And you're also in it right now? Why do I feel like, but you, didn't you do the program with Harvard?
Well, we have like a few courses through the HLPA. So there's a Harvard course where you're paired up with 2. I actually, fortunately, I had 3 mentors that were in the Harvard Business School, and you go through case studies for 3-4 months, and yeah, it was very eye-opening to be able to see their perspective on things. So obviously, you sit in the locker room, and within any sports locker room, you have guys that went to college, guys that barely got through high school. So you see the different spectrums of thought. And going and sitting in some of these classes and just bouncing ideas off them, it was very eye-opening for me of the amount of knowledge that they had and intelligence.
So what motivated for you to get back in school?
I always said to my mom that I would get my degree. So I was like, this is probably a good time to start getting back into courses. And that's not a Harvard Business School course, but it just got my itch going again to get back into school. And then I proceeded to take a course through UBC, through NHLPA also, on real estate. And now I'm in the Sauder School of Business doing
so real estate, and now you're in the School of Business. What is it that's so itching in terms of wanting to go that way? And is that maybe planting the seeds for where the next steps of Darnell's life come?
Yeah, I think just having, it goes along with gaining knowledge and learning. There's so much to be learned. There's so much going on outside of hockey, so much going on outside of sport in general. I just want to have an understanding of as well.
Everyone, I feel like it's like the low-hanging fruit now with your family. We're all like, it's the most athletic family in Canada. I think my question that I have is, who's the least athletic athlete in your family?
Me, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm the worst athlete.
Are you?
Yeah.
You think so? Do you
Because
hold
the
that?
four other people,
They're
like
pretty
in my
good.
immediate family, like you give them a sport or something to pick up, and it's in a matter of minutes, and for me, it's a week.
Well, when you were younger, you played what? Lacrosse?
Yeah.
Basketball, hockey as well.
I tried. I won't say basketball because I tried to play basketball. I played one basketball tournament. We actually took a group of hockey players that were all playing together.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "We'll coach you in a basketball tournament." So we played one tournament, and that was the end of my basketball career.
What did your dad say to you?
You shouldn't play basketball.
So Aiden's gonna be listening to hip hop basically.
He's actually already a fan.
Stop. What
I
does he
swear.
listen to?
He's just with the top 20 right now. He's a big Drake fan though.
Okay.
He's a big Kendrick fan. Clean versions,
We
of
love
course.
an introspective
Clean versions, of course.
You've been super intentional about remaining within community, your scholarships, of course. Where does that love and passion for community come from?
I always grew up in a really tight family. So ever since I can remember, you go to Christmas events, you have all your aunts and uncles and cousins, and so community for me has always started with my family, and from there I've always seemed to find some really close relationships, whether it was in high school or in hockey. I just wanted to continue, and I think that level of importance for community and a level of importance for family and having people you can rely on is just kind of extended to giving back.
And there's emphasis as well on education. I mean, you're an honor student, so now I'm curious, what was your average? You're talking to someone who got kicked out of high school, so I'm always like, how smart were you?
I actually had to put my, what was it? It was like 88 in high school, so it was okay.
You were 88 in high school, and you're just saying that's okay?
Okay, for the scholarship last year, we gave it to a young woman that was 99, so it makes you feel pretty insignificant in the books.
Okay, 88 though, while balancing kind of the dreams of going professional. How do you balance that as a young man who's also still trying to figure himself out?
I didn't have much of a choice.
Okay,
Growing up in my house ever since I was young, my mom and dad, they said, you have to get good marks or you're not playing sports. And that just stuck with me. So I got to high school and wanted to kind of keep that same intention. Because I think, being able to balance and multitask, it goes a long way. Now I'm 27 with a kid and a wife and play hockey. There's a lot more multitasking going on right now than when I was in high school.
What is the biggest struggle you find so far about fatherhood?
For me, you feel bad when you're away because you feel like you're missing out. Whether he's trying to figure out how to walk or crawl around, like things like that. I was fortunate. He started walking this summer, so I was around. But you start to move and have some milestone moments that you're away from. So that'd be the toughest part.
I think that's important to say, because sometimes we always look at the wife to take care of all that stuff, and when the dad's not at home because they are playing, there is pressure of trying to be at both places at the same time. What has being a father brought in terms of joy?
Oh, every day you wake up and he's got that little giggle and smile, and it's just like he points and yells "Dad" at you every time you walk in. So just everyday moments is just brings joy.
Does it make you look at your dad different?
100%. It makes me, for my dad to obviously sacrifice as much as he did to make sure that all of us, not just myself, but all of us could play sports and travel all around North America, as well as my mother. It's to be definitely now as being his son, you look up to your father,
right?
And at some point maybe Aiden will feel the same way, I hope. And there's I wouldn't say pressure, but there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that.
You're balancing school, balancing home life, and a postseason.
Yeah.
Okay, how does that look?
Honestly, it wasn't bad. It sounds much more taxing.
No, it sounds what it sounds like, which is a lot.
It sounds much more taxing than it was. I would, with my course, I would do 1 to 2 hours. We travel a lot, so I would do some on the plane. And then you get to the hotel, you have a practice day, and you have 4 hours. So I do a lot of it on the road. When I was home, I like to get up pretty early, so I usually get up 30, 40 minutes before the little man wakes up and knock out some pages and then go from there.
Where do you find this time?
There's lots of time in the day.
Okay, now, my friend, we also need to sleep.
Yeah, I sleep 8 hours. You have 8 hours.
You're asleep.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let me just drink this water real quick because. But you like to stay busy, and mine likes to keep going.
Yeah, 100%.
Beauty and the Beat actually ended up being a real focal point for my groomsmen.
Pardon?
Yes.
Okay, run through this.
Young money.
My groomsmen, we had played Beauty and the Beat. It was kind of like our coming together song.
Yeah.
Once again, 2 drinks had been consumed, and then this carried on to the wedding. So we played Beauty and the Beat probably like 3 times at the
Justin
wedding.
Bieber got runs at the wedding.
Yeah, he did.
Who on your team really let control the music in the locker room?
I'm the DJ.
You're the DJ?
Yes,
That
yes,
is
I'm-
big
yes,
responsibility.
That's the biggest.
You're
actually.
responsible for the culture.
Yes.
Really, we should be thanking you. Edmonton is not the easiest market. A lot of opinions, a lot of knee-jerk reactions. Do you listen to that stuff at all?
No, I think it kind of goes more so into the, we were talking about before. You just have to be confident in yourself.
Right.
Confident in, you work, the way I look at it, you work and sacrifice so much more than this time away from, your family. You're spending 5 hours a day, putting your mind and body through whatever you need to get yourself ready for the season. And then the season comes around, you're battling through injuries, you're working every day, you're never content, and all you're doing is throwing your body out there on the line to win, right? So I'm just confident in that. I'm confident in my ability, and I'm confident in the amount of work that goes into it.
All right, just to get nosy, what teammate of yours makes you better?
Me, Connor, and Leon
Yeah.
came up at the same time, and we push each other every day. Try to push them. They definitely push me. I try to reciprocate.
What is it about them and maybe their work ethic that sticks out to you?
I mean, obviously you see the results on the ice
Yeah.
when the game comes around, but that's just a product of the amount of work that they put in every day. They're very detail-oriented, not just when it comes to practice and games, but making sure that their bodies feel right, so that they can maintain that high level for a full season. As I get older, get more life experience, you really lose care for what other people think, and you want to make sure that, one, you're a good person, and two, for me, I play with a great team. I want to make sure that I'm there for them and performing at my highest level for them.